What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Second City Sports Talk. I'm Keaton, here with Papa Bear. The Cubs have been winning, and they've been winning in bunches. Just finished a pretty insane month of May, one of the best in recent memories. We had 7 series wins. The bullpen has been absolutely incredible.
Lights out.
A bunch of guys that really, if you were to ask fans of other teams, they'd probably say, I know Kimbrel, and that's about it. And they've been performing insane. We're 32 and 23, first place in the NL Central.
But those Cardinals.
I mean, it's been insane. We haven't done one we haven't done a Cubs talk in a while.
Yeah, we
were 17 last time, and 15-6 since then.
That's pretty
just a great streak overall.
Yeah. I mean, the bullpen, like you said, has been lights out. When have you, as a Cubs fan, thought, oh wow, the reason we're winning is because of the bullpen? I mean, that is so
all in
unusual.
all. Yeah. The bullpen's been great. It's been a combined effort, though. Obviously, the bullpen's been stealing the show, but the hitting's been consistent.
Yeah.
The starting pitcher is much improved.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll talk about those.
Yeah. You got people like Jock Peterson coming back. Some guys coming off of injuries. Yeah. We're still pretty injured, though. I mean, it's a pretty amazing. Yeah. We're a pretty injured team. We're still finding ways to get it done.
We just swept the Padres with pretty much every single game. We had 3 guys just brought up from the minors starting, we still swept the Padres, one of the best teams in the National League. Well, I know the Padres had some injuries, but still incredible.
I was reading that this is like the first time in forever the Cubs have needed to use 40 different guys on the roster since I don't think they have it on record as needing it. So they've needed some help. The guys have been providing it, and we'll talk about that a little bit.
Let's talk about the hitting first.
Yeah.
It's been, the best way I can describe it is consistent enough to win games. You know, I don't think it hasn't been 10 runs a game every single game, but it's been enough, and we've been slowly climbing the batting average leaderboards. We're hitting home runs. And
I think guys are making contact a little bit more. They're making pitchers pitch to them a little bit.
It feels
they're
like
not striking all the time.
It feels like everyone had a decent month of May. Yeah. Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, Jock, Peterson, all had pretty good months of May.
Yeah.
And that's really been helping. Chris Bryant leading the MVP discussion. He's 5th in batting average in the league, 317.
Not bad. I mean, the hitting's going well. I was watching Javi bat the other day, and I kind of give Javi a little bit of grief for his hitting, swinging those low outside pitches. I think he walked on a low outside pitch, and I was like, there you go, Javi. You didn't swing at that thing. That's how you need to
give Javi way too much grief.
But then he just smashed another homer right after that.
Javi has 14 homers so far. He's on track to hit like 30 or 40 home runs.
Yeah, he's still magic, and he's
been great. He had one of the craziest plays we've ever seen against the Padres. Not the Padres.
Not the Padres.
Padres would not make that mistake. It was the Pirates, of course. That was just crazy. We don't even need to go into it. Everyone has seen it. Everyone's seen that play.
It's like one of the highlights of the year. It's so fun to watch and do that.
Oh my God!
And as the first baseman, I don't remember who the first baseman is for the Pirates, but you see him. You just got to see the wheels turning. The minute he threw it, you got to know he thought.
I saw an interview. He basically said, "My brain shut off."
Shut off.
And my brain just shut off, had a malfunction, and that's what happened. And what results is one of the funniest plays you'll ever see. Yeah. Cubs probably wouldn't have won the game without that play, which makes it even more unfortunate for the Pirates. Yeah. What stands out to me about the hitting in the month of May is that we've been doing it, like you said, with so many injuries, and even guys who were contributing a lot in April, like Duffy and Horner,
mm-hmm.
and they're both out, and yet it's kind of that next man up.
But it's
mentality.
Guys coming in there like Wisdom, the guys. I mean, he's only had 30 at bats or something. He's batting not 4 even something.
He's had 18 bats.
Yeah, and a couple of home runs in the other game the other day. He just makes contact, and here he's this almost 30-year-old guy, been on 3 different teams, and he pops over to the. I mean, this is the stuff we need to.
There's going to be a lot of tough decisions to be made when a lot of those guys on the IL come back.
Like, what are they going to do?
What are you going to do with Hayward?
Yeah, exactly.
Marisnik, guys like that. You don't really know what's going to happen right now because the people coming up from the minors, the people who are replacing them have been so good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pitching a bit. Starting pitching first. I'd say for me, the MVPs of May for starting pitching, Hendricks, Davies, Alzolay.
Yeah. I like Alzolay a lot. I mean, I'm watching him. I think they scored 1 run on him today. He won, 4-1 today?
6-1.
He 6. Oh gosh, that's right. They scored more. He looks good. I like where he's placing the ball. I like his flow. He just doesn't. He looks comfortable.
My only problem with Alzolay is that I feel like he does get fatigued quickly. I think for the first 4 innings, he's usually really good, and then he kind of gets jumped in the 5th and 6th when that third time through the order factor comes into play.
He's young. He'll learn how to save himself for later and make the right pitches to get there. But I mean, he looks sharp. I mean, things look good for like you're saying. Well, what's his ERA for the first 3 or 4 innings, or what's his stats for the first 3 or 4 innings, and then things kind of tail off.
Yeah. And then Hendricks, he's looking like his old self. He's making people look silly all while throwing 85 miles per hour.
79 sometimes.
Hendricks has been great. Not much to talk about there because he's just got kind of reverted back to his normal self.
They're just, he has the most homers hit against him in all of the majors, right?
Yeah.
Like he is the pitcher with the most. It's weird.
It's unusual.
It's unusual, like for him to be leading that weird stat, and that happened to him the other day. He won the game anyway, but he was doing great. And all of a sudden they jump on him with a couple of homers.
Yeah.
Caratini hit a homer, and you're like, and then the pitcher got a hit, and then somebody else hit a homer. It's just that's what's happening to Hendricks right now. They come in kind of bunches, but then he pitches really well otherwise.
Yeah. And then Davies, of course, we give him a lot of slack through the month of April, but he's been a lot better. I'd say he's had about 4 or 5 starts in a row in which he's looked much improved.
His ERA in May is better than Yu Darvish's, so maybe it was a good trade. So there we go.
And then, of course, we have to talk about the bullpen. Yeah. They went on insane.
It was 38 and a third scoreless innings, and I looked this up. It's the 5th longest single season streak for the Cubs since 1969. I mean,
that's really insane.
Crazy.
And for me, it's been we've had the pieces, the set piece guys, kind of like Brothers and Keegan Thompson and Dan Winkler, and I'm sure there's other guys I'm forgetting about, but. Tepera. The 3-headed monster for me. That's what I'm starting to call it. Tepera, Chafin, and Kimbrel have dominated.
Yeah. Tepera? He's been named the top NL reliever in May too. So that's pretty good. I mean, for a guy who, you just didn't know what was going to happen for him this year, and boom, he's coming in just killing it. He's doing great right now. So gotta love that.
For me, that's just so important right now because right now it feels like the 7th, 8th, and 9th are locked up because you get Tepera in the 7th, Chafin in the 8th, and Kimbrel in the 9th. Yeah. And that they just feel unstoppable right now.
It's hard.
It feels like if a team isn't beating us by the time we get to the 7th, we're going to win the game. That's what it feels like right now.
It does.
I think we're going to... The month of May has been incredible, obviously. I think we're going to have to... change our predictions.
Well, let's try to repeat this for June, change our predictions for what the final record is going to be. Maybe we give it a little bit longer. Yeah. Right now, it's still a little too early. We've jumped over the Cards in first place in the Central, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played at this point.
We started off the month of June pretty well though because we swept the Padres. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen. You go in. The Padres were red hot, and we sweep them. Yeah. And it was pretty incredible, honestly. It felt good. Well, there was a lot of good moments at home at Wrigley Field.
Exactly. And I remember seeing the calendar going, oh my God, we got the Pirates, the Giants, the Padres, the Giants, and who else is coming? We got somebody else.
Mets, Indians, Cardinals.
We got the Padres again later.
Dodgers.
We built up this great record. We're going to lose all of it. But so far, we've swept one of the best teams in baseball, which you got.
It's a great start because the stretch is going to be real tough coming up, and it's always big confidence is because we play the Padres in like less than a week, so that's going to be like, hey, we beat them before, we can do it again. We play the Giants. I feel like we can at least split with the Giants. And then it's going to be tough from there on out. Luckily though, we did build a bit of a cushion for ourselves in the month of May. But just a good start to this stretch, and
We just need to keep moving forward. I don't see any other way to do this. And if that happens, then
I feel like
the highlight for the season is coming right here, I think. Yeah.
I feel like sweeping the Padres just puts us on the radar for other teams. Like, watch out for the Cubs because they are hot. And
you can't ignore us.
You can't ignore us.
Even
right
though
now.
people
We're
probably still think they're not going to do much in the postseason, but you can't ignore the Cubs. At this
encouraging.
point.
Rizzo came back from injury. You never know how a guy's going to respond after being injured for a few days. He went 5 for 8 in the series. Solid overall. Baez hit 3 homers.
Nice.
And the bullpen continued to do what they do. I mean, it was that's the formula for success. Decent hitting, you putting up like 5 runs a game, and the bullpen just doing what they do, and then the starting pitching wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the trade deadline. That's like, what are the Cubs going to do at the trade deadline? That's kind of the hot topic right now, especially with the Cubs doing so well. I feel like people didn't expect that. People expected this to be an easy choice. Yeah, the Cubs just trade away Chris Bryant, trade away Kimbrel at the trade deadline.
I've got Bryant's jersey. I don't want to see that.
Okay, well, I think here's the problem. A lot of most fans, including myself, at this point are like, why would you trade Bryant? He's leading the NL in MVP vote, in the MVP race. And why would you trade away Kimbrel? He's been insane. As well as the other guys on the team. The Cubs have been so good. Why would you break up the squad after such an incredible month and after we're in the lead for the division? The problem is, for a guy like Bryant, if we don't trade him away now, we're not probably going to get anything for him over the winter. And that's the problem, is we have to think about the future a little bit. Well, and also I think my thing is that right now it feels like we could probably continue to have success without Bryant, and what we need right now is a starting pitcher, and that's if we were to trade Bryant away, it would probably be for a starting pitcher. Yeah,
you got to fill those gaps. We've had a couple guys come up from the minors and filled those gaps pretty well. I don't know who was the guy who started a few days ago against the
Wisdom.
Yeah, not Wisdom. No. There's somebody who started. The pitcher who did a start the other day. I can't remember his name right now.
Stuart Cole.
Stewart had a good start.
Yeah.
You can kind of fill the gaps that way, but you really down the stretch, you need somebody who's going to be there.
You need that star pitcher to carry the team. Right now, no starting pitcher. Hendricks is good, obviously. He's made a name for himself in the MLB. But nobody really jumps out at you like that kind of Yu Darvish character.
So if you could trade Bryant or get another couple of trades, I still don't want to trade Kimbrel.
My problem.
You want that bullpen to stay the way it is, but you do need to make a few moves, because if you want to be that team, you got to find that couple position players or whatever who you can live without, or you got something coming up that's playing well for, and get that star player to take you through the postseason.
My problem is when people right now are talking about trading away Bryant for prospects. I hate that idea.
No, that's horrible.
Why in the midst of the Cubs being in playoff contention, why are we trading for super future? Why are we doing that? I get, it sets us up well for the future. We trade away Bryant, get a bunch of prospects.
I don't know
but no, that doesn't make any sense, because we have a chance now.
When you're competitive, and we have until July 30th, I think is when the trade deadline is.
Yeah, I think if the Cubs had a bad month of May, if we were down like 3rd, 4th place in the division right now, I think it would be a no-brainer. We have to trade Bryant. We have to trade Kimbrel. But the way the Cubs are playing right now, I have a hard time with the Cubs, breaking up the squad. I don't find it reasonable. I do think it's gonna depend a lot on how we play in June.
Right now it's a lot of talk. There's a lot of guys in the league that want to get traded around. Teams, you got to see where they're falling. Are they competitive? Are they going to make the playoffs? And if they're not, they're going to trade away some of their stars.
One thing that would be an absolutely insane trade, and this is I haven't heard too many people talking about this, but I've kind of thought about it. Max Scherzer, and this is probably not going to happen. Nationals pitcher. What if we traded Bryant as well as a few other guys to get him?
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's doing real well this year.
He's been great. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not going to.
But there are those guys out there, and I'm hoping the Cubs, the front office is looking at ways right now. I'm sure they're already talking about it. How are we going to do this if we're in first place, if we're leading the league?
Those are the kind of dream trades. But
that's why they make
what I've seen so far, based on like what we would get for Bryant, like at a reasonable price, it just doesn't seem worth it to me right now. And Bryant's been so good. I don't want us to trade him unless the team really tanks in June.
I think we could find some other things to trade, but all right. Well, what do you think? Who do you think is going to get traded by the deadline? Do you think all the Cubs are pretty much secure, safe, or are we going to trade away some of our stars? You let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think about the month of May. What do you think about June? What's going to happen in this next month? You give us your predictions. Well, that's it for this episode. So,
all right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Make sure you like and subscribe and comment below too, okay?
And that's it for this one.
All right, take care.
See ya.